to record a message for you to help you get settled in on your first night. I actually worked in that office before you. I'm finishing up my last week now, as a matter of fact, so I know it can be a bit overwhelming, but I'm here to tell you there's nothing to worry about. You'll do fine. Let's just focus on getting you through your first week, okay? Let's see. First, there's an introductory greeting from the company that I'm supposed to read. It's kind of a legal thing, you know. Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Is anyone there?
A magical place for kids and grown-ups alike, where fantasy and fun come to life. Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for damage to property or person. Upon discovering that damage or death has occurred, a missing person report will be filed within 90 days or as soon as property and premises have been thoroughly cleaned and bleached and the carpets have been replaced. Blah, blah, blah. Now, that might sound bad, I know, but there's really nothing to worry about.
Mary, if you are pulling a prank on me, I am going... Mary? Massive impact to the franchise. Let's start off as an indie game suddenly turned into a AAA game. It's all thanks to this man right here, Scott Cawthon. To understand the success, we have to discuss how it all began. Chipper & Son Lumber Co. Yeah, this is the game that inspired the FNAF series. And how, you may ask?
Dead.
Yeah, not only the game turned out to be bad, it was heavily teared down by critics. So much so that it got him to the point of depression. That is until he heard what the critics stated. The characters look more animatronic like, you know, from those Chuck E. Cheese restaurants. And decided to use that criticism as an inspiration to create the game we know today. Five Nights at Freddy's, or what most people call it as FNAF, for short. So why did it take me this long to finally decide to review the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise altogether? Well, there's a bunch of reasons, actually. The first one is YouTube. I know, it's a lame excuse, I understand that. But at the time, I wasn't really curious on getting the Five Nights at Freddy's games altogether. Though I was intrigued of watching YouTubers reacting and talking about the games in general. In fact, I was fascinated more around the theories and lores in the games itself, and oh boy, I will talk more about the lore later. My second reason is because I didn't really have a really good PC at the time to, you know, record or even live stream it for that matter. I mean, have you seen my Hoppy live stream beforehand? I was having issues left and right and I couldn't fix the stuttering, so I figured either get it on the Switch or wait until I get a better PC. Thus, I got it on the Switch. My other reason is actually because of Security Breach. I didn't exactly write the script on this, but I am so excited for Security Breach. It looks fascinating, and I can't believe it's coming out real soon. Oh boy, I can wait for that game. But the final reason is because I want to give Scott Cawthon a honorable tribute. If you haven't heard, well, Scott Cawthon is retired from the series, or more in terms, forced to be retired. I'm not going to discuss as to how he was forced to be retired because there's already a bunch of people who already discussed this. That and is more of his personal choice and political situation, which I never want to put that in my stuff. I will say this, however, how he went out is kind of very saddening. I mean, I understand people have their own different opinions, their own point of views, and yet there's a bunch of people that disagree on them and try to make a big deal about it, to the point of sending death threats. Death threats! First Smash Brothers, now this. What's next? Honestly, I do not want to know what's next. In fact, I'm not going to say what's next. They have to get a better life. But with that off of my chest, I figure to give a great hurrah for Scott Cawthon and his great efforts of creating the FNAF series, I figured why not start off with the beginning, where it all began. FNAF 1. So grab your pizza, get ready for Freddy, as we begin review Five Nights at Freddy's. It's jamming time. You play as a security guard tasked to watch over the pizzeria for 5 nights. Sounds like an easiest job in the world, until you learn that the animatronics are out there to kill you. You see, they used to roam around the pizzeria in the daytime, greeting the kids and such, until the fight of 87 happened. Thus, their free roaming mode privileges have been taken away from the animatronics. However, they can't seem to lock them up overnight due to their server motors will lock up if left for too long, which kind of boggles my mind as to why not hire a mechanic to fix them or replace the animatronics with new ones altogether, until I learned that there is more to the animatronics than meets the eye. But we will discuss that on a later subject. As the game stated, your goal is simple: survive 5 nights from 12 AM to 6 AM. Through the game, you are forever glued to your seat, and your only option are using the cameras, check the lights, set the hallways, and close the doors when necessary. If one gets in your office, they will drag you into the back room and stuff you into the animatronic suit. Which doesn't sound that bad until you learn that there are wires and small machinery in them, especially in the facial area. AKA, you will die. Okay, so your first thought might be, close the doors. Doi, that will not let them into your office, right? Well, that would be a smart plan, I agree, if it weren't for the limited power supply. You see, using lights, cameras, even closing the doors will drain power. And if that power reaches to 0, well, enjoy Freddy's lullaby before the inevitable bear hug. There is only 5 animatronics you're going to be facing, and each of them have their own patterns. Bunny and Chica, for example, will simply walk to your doorways, Bunny on the left and Chica on the right, which is simple as checking the doorways to make sure they don't get in. If either of them gets in, then you will hear this lovely sound. That sound means they are already in and they just jammed the doors. If this ever happens, you're left with 2 options. Either die by checking the cameras to reset the night, or don't check the cameras at all and hope that Foxy or Freddy doesn't use this opportunity to get into your office and get you. Foxy is, well, he is the most hindrance to deal with. He lives in Pirate's Cove and wishes for attention but couldn't due to him being out of order. If you don't give him enough attention, he will come running into your office like as if you have pancakes in the morning and will kill you instantly. Sure, you can close the doors to avoid his jump scare, but in turn will cost a bit of power, and if he comes at you again, he will drain double the amount, and double that amount, and well, you get the idea. Now, Freddy, on the other hand, oh boy, I have a love and hate for this character. He tends to stay in the dark and doesn't show up at the doorway whenever he gets to your office. Though you can actually see if he is near your office if you check front camera 4B. If he's ever near your office, that means he's 1 inch closer to jump into your office and jump scare you if ever given the chance. Out of all the characters, Freddy is the only one I have the trouble dealing with. I can understand how to avoid his jump scares. I can understand how to avoid Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy very well. But with Freddy, he's kind of unpredictable. That is, until I decide to do a little bit of research and learn a few interesting things. Apparently, he doesn't move if you check up on him wherever he is at, or if you don't use the cameras in general. But if he's ever at camera 4B and let's say you want to check up on Foxy, he will walk into your office. So be aware of that. Apparently there is a way to tell if he's already in your office. His laughter. If his laughter grows even louder than ever before, that means he's already inside. Which you're left with only one chance, one option. Close both doors and check up on your cameras. Apparently he doesn't jump scare you if you're already checking up on the cameras. The only reason why I say close both doors though is because of Bonnie and Chica, obviously. If you check up on the cameras and Bonnie and Chica just walk inside, they will just hold down your monitor and jump scare you. And then there is Golden Freddy. Now I never had to face Golden Freddy at all, mainly because of one thing. He only appears in your office if you look at camera 2B. You see, there is this poster that has good old Jolly Freddy, but rarely that poster will turn into a close-up of Golden Freddy's face. That in turn allows Golden Freddy to teleport to your office. There is good news, however. He won't kill you instantly. He will only crash the game if you stare at him for far too long. So, deal with him? Yeah, that's simple. Now saying them out loud sounds like it's the most simplest way to deal with him, and to be honest, it kinda is. Think of it like chess. Each of the pieces are unique, and they move in a certain order. Some might be simple, like a pawn that can move forward, or something unique, like a knight able to make an L shape. You're literally playing chess against the animatronics, and that's the point of the entire FNAF series altogether. Sure, they got the tension, they got the animatronics, they got the limited possibilities of defending yourself. But that's not the point of the game. The point of the game is how you deal with it, and they nailed that point onward. But of course, you can't have a spooky game without spooky environments, and they offered them. Despite using JPEG images, it's actually quite terrifying to look at. Even the sound itself makes it even more terrifying. The sound of the ambulance in the background, to even as simple as Foxy the Pirate Fox just humming the. I suppose there's other people out there that have their own definition of what makes a game scary, but to me, is actually the tension. And there's a lot of tension in this game. Sure, it's sometimes predictable, like whenever you see Foxy in the middle of the hallway, you know he's going to run straight to your office, so you will just simply close the door fast. Or Bonnie and Chica, if you ever see them in the hallways, you have to close the doors fast before they ever get a chance to jump in and jam the doors. But Freddy, oh, Freddy is a different topic altogether. He's somewhat similar to Bonnie and Chica. When you hear the laughter growing louder and louder and louder, that means he's already inside. And other times when you hear the animatronics already inside when you're on the monitors, you hear this sound. That sounds so terrifying. But here's the other thing about Freddy. When the power goes out, he doesn't just jump scares you instantly. He just slowly gets off stage and walks closer and closer to your office. And once he's at your office, we'll play this lovely lullaby. When you hear this music, you were thinking, you're dead, he's gonna jump scare me, I'm gonna die, please 6 a.m. happen, let me live, Freddy. Sometimes he would just jump scares you instantly after the song. Other times, he would just go to complete silence. You might hear a footstep, but then nothing. Not even a song. Not even a fan plays in the background. And the next moment, bam! He jump scares you instantly. He gets me every single time. I don't like it, but I admire it. So, remember that you have to work for 5 nights? Yeah, I lied. After you finish all 5 nights, you're greeted with the 6th night, where everything breaks loose. The night is longer, the Amtrak's are more aggressive than ever before, and once you beat the night, though, you get an extra pay of 50 cents. Is it really that worth the effort to get? But wait, you have the infamous custom night. Yay! With custom night, you set them to a certain difficulty. 0 or turn them off, or 20 to make things more difficult. But after beating the custom night, you are, in better terms, fired from your job. Which, honestly, I think that's an accomplishment if you ask me. But more importantly, you get to learn more about the bike of 87. It's more than just the bike. Sometimes you get these hallucinations. One moment you see a missing children is reported replacing a rule sign, and then next you see a close-up of Freddy's face with your human eyes. The story is basically like this. 5 children were at the pizzeria, lured in the back room by one of the workers at the family diner in the mascot suit. Then, he kills them and stuffed them in the animatronics you see in front. Yep, the animatronics are not just malfunctioning, but they are possessed by the missing children themselves. Who killed them? Who stuffed them in there? Why are they killing you? Why did they mistake you as the killer? Well, I feel like I will have to discuss this lore in the next review of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. That simple lore made the franchise grow and have theorists and fans speculate what happens to Freddy Fazbear and his friends. Even good old MathPad made like 45 videos around the Freddy Fazbear franchise, which that to me is kind of FNAF's downfall. Look, I love lore as much as everyone, but focusing so much on lore can either make the game's backstory more sense, or can lead to confusion like how Kingdom Hearts did with their own lore. Thankfully, we had a conclusion to the entire franchise, and they won't have to focus so much on lore for future projects. At least I hope. While a simple game to pick up and play, it definitely works in their favor. The game terrifies into people's hearts by nailing the tone and atmosphere. Even though this game uses JPEG images to boot, I would say it's a must-buy to get the game. Just, not on consoles. Look, I like the idea of using the controller by pressing a certain button to turn on the lights or to close the doors. But when you're toggling the cameras, it feels less snappy. You see, you tend to toggle the cameras by pressing the trigger buttons to make it slowly change the cameras and allows the animatronics to get into your office with so much ease. I mean, sure, they have cheat codes to help you out, but I wish you can, select camera like how you did on the PC and Android. Just select the camera you want to look at and boom, done. No need to make it difficult. But I digress. If you're looking for a quick game to get the scare on, well, this one is for you. Just make sure you get it on PC or Android. If you decided to get on console, well, that's fine too. Just be aware that the cameras are less snappy than on the PC or Android. So those are my thoughts. What about yours? Did you enjoy FNAF or did you not? Place your comments down below. And also, question of the day. Are you excited for a security breach? Till then, this is Jeremiah from Jam535, saying stay jam-tastic and have yourself a really time. Excelsior! Also, happy Halloween. Bye!